in association with Vulcanite Training and Performance Apparel and Excess Guards, Professional Sports Mouth Guards, we bring you Almighty Fighting Championships. This is your main event of the evening, sponsored by Fibbers and Fibbers of York, premier destination for live music and nighttime entertainment, and the official after-show party of Almighty Fighting Championships. Now, we present 3 5-minute rounds of professional action in the flyweight division. First, in the red corner, with a professional record of 6 wins and 6 defeats, representing Hamma Martial Arts. Give it up for Bryan, the Big Bad Wolf Creighton. And his opponent in the blue corner, he spots a professional record of 7 wins and just 2 defeats, representing Avaddon MMA and BST. Make some noise for Jamie Powell. When the action begins, your referee in charge is Craig Lawrence.
Here we are, we're set for the main event of the evening. It's a pro flyweight bout between Bryan Creighton, 6-6 from Hamma, and Jamie Powell, 7-2 from Avaddon MMA. I'm Connor Halliday, alongside with me Mr. Danny Missing, ready for the main event of the evening.
Yes, we are. Oh, opens up a beautiful leg kick, does Bryan.
Both these guys
Powell
are
coming back with a nice right hand.
top level flyweights, and this is a beauty of a main event. Jamie Powell's fought Bellator, and Bryan Creighton's fought on just about every show you could think of.
Yeah, pretty much. He's been about.
It's like he's sinking
And
in
he
a
looks
guillotine.
like he's got a guillotine on nice and early, but Powell just pulling those hands down.
They've got 3 5-minute rounds to work with in this main event of Almighty Fighting Championships 8.
Nice little scuffle along the cage there. You know, it goes from guillotine by Bryan Creighton to, you know, good posture and bullying by Jamie Powell, and they are both stacked flyweights as well.
Yeah,
they
I
are
was
big,
just about
big
to say,
flyweights.
both of them are big boys.
Yeah.
You can see why Creighton's fought at bantamweight before.
yeah. And he hits like a truck.
Yeah, successfully made weight this time down into the flyweight rankings. Both of these guys actually have a win over the same person. They both have a win over Spencer Hewitt, who again is a top flyweight in the UK division. So it just goes to show how good these two are. Creighton's coming off a TKO win against Chris Gary, which won him the golden ticket title. Jamie Powell's last fight was actually a decision loss to Amir Albazi.
Amir Albazi, that's a name that keeps cropping up. And here we go, back to the centre.
Looks like Powell's, controlling the cage right now.
Bryan was landing some very nice high knees on him with his back against the cage, though. So a little bit of give and take from him. Just fighting to establish dominance here.
Size of the thighs on Bryan Creighton as well.
I know, and you see how fast those kicks come.
Yeah.
They're like Krokop-esque.
Big overhand right from Jamie Powell. It must be a Hammer gym thing.
It must be. It must be. A little bit of something wrong with the floor there. And the back to action. Oh, and he stunned him with a nice short left hand there, did Creighton.
The Hammer corner telling Bryan Creighton to press forward now on Jamie Powell.
That's it. Powell's felt that power now.
Thing with these flyweights, they're fast, but nowadays they've got some massive power.
That's it, yeah. You know, people who say flyweights don't finish.
Oh, beautiful
and
left
look at
hand. A
that.
big right-handed boxing look. Bryan Creighton smiling at Jamie Powell on the floor there.
And he's not getting greedy. He lets him back up. But before we led to that, Bryan Creighton stood there and he smiled at him and nodded like, oh, let's do it.
That's the thing. Bryan Creighton likes a war.
Oh, he does.
He likes a war.
He's got that fighter's mindset.
That's what you want to see in a main event.
Yeah, that's it. And Powell looks like he's just stepping off with his chin up right now. And you better believe that Bryan's seen it.
Uppercut into a left hook there from Bryan Creighton.
Jostling for position. And
Beautiful
that
leg
chopping leg kick there. Turning
Great.
Powell's knee in.
You know, Creighton's giving him these big shots, but it's not stopping Powell from moving forward. He wants to be set. Oh, he throws it so hard he slips then.
There's something going on with the cage floor. We're just going to get that rectified right now. There might be a little bit of water or a bit of excessive sweat.
Again, fighter safety. Prominent here at Almighty Fighting Championships. Mr. Craig Lawrence just sorting the cage out here. Oh, straight.
We're going to get back to it about Craig Lawrence there, but we've got that sorted. Back in, neither man taking a step backwards here.
Just before that little break, I was just about to say Creighton needs to set that left hand up. He's looking to swing for it, but throw across before it, set it up a little bit.
That's the one, yeah. He throws hooks and looping shots as Bryan like the jabs, you know.
He's aiming to
so
knock you
quick.
out.
Oh yeah.
He's aiming to knock you
So
out with
much
every
speed.
shot.
But Powell's got his
Catches the
power
leg
as
kick.
well, and here we go. He's landed a couple of those right hands on Bryan.
Creighton can't stop smiling in this fight. I love it.
Absolutely, he loves it. He loves the anarchy. And there we go. Oh, beautiful
big
overhand
that's
right.
rocked him.
3,
That's
4,
rocked him.
5 uppercuts to the body of Powell.
That's got Jamie Powell rocked.
It's got his attention.
Oh, definitely got his attention.
If you're Powell, you don't want to miss a shot right now, because if you do, you're going to pay.
And if you're
There's
Bryan Creighton-
another looping left hand.
if you're Bryan Creighton, you do exactly what he's doing.
And that leg's ticking. Look at that leg of Powell right now.
He's eating it up, but look at the mark on the inside of Creighton's leg as well.
That is a perfect foot structure outlined on Bryan's leg right now.
Last 10 seconds of this first round. That's flew by for me.
Oh, and he
Big
catches
right
him again. He's laughing at him every time he catches him. He loves
Bryan
the chaos. And Jamie Powell goes to his corner, a little wobbly legged.
Yeah, a little bit of a wobble there at the end of that first round. Sean Hammer Martin in the corner of Bryan Creighton now, telling him to move forward as soon as this round starts. Graham Thomas looking at a cut on the bridge of the nose of Jamie Powell. Obviously, we know Bryan Creighton's looks like he's got the power advantage in these strikes. If you're Jamie Powell, what do we do in the second round?
Bryan, he commits a lot to his shots. Not as much as you'd think, actually, because he's got really, really good balance.
Yeah.
But every so often, like when he went running for the leaping shot at the end, if you're Powell, you've got to time that takedown. And you know, Powell's
100%.
been looking for it because he's had him up against the fence, and he's been working for that. You know, he didn't disengage straight away. You know, he's kind of turned into a fan's dream. This, you know, you know, guys going toe to toe.
Bryan Creighton's in the middle of the cage, ready
and that
to fight.
that there is the head games.
Yeah.
That there is showing Jamie Powell, I'm ready for you.
Jamie
Come
Powell
to
has
me.
the doctor checking his eyes here. Because he did
Jamie
get rocked
Powell,
at the end of that
he
round.
went back and he was stunned on his feet.
Doctor says he's okay to go. Bryan Creighton, middle of the cage, ready for
That's it.
Jamie Powell now.
Like a pit bull on a leash.
Here we go, start of round number 2. Jamie
Nothing
Powell
but
seems
respect.
to have his wits together again now.
Yeah, but you know, you've got a
show
poker face in this game, and
Oh, yeah.
how much of it is a poker face? Because
Another-
then you catch a shot like that.
The right eye of Jamie Powell's getting swollen up now. Bryan Creighton's power is on show tonight.
It sounded like you were hitting. It sounded like you were hitting like meat, like Rocky.
Yeah.
there, right, and there we go. Powell shooting in for the takedown and a beautiful change of direction.
Bryan Creighton
But
has
Creighton
the submission.
And Creighton's no stranger to submissions. I've seen him choke people out in record time before. And he's
that
definitely, he
looks
feels
tight.
this because he's driving those hips, and you know it's tight.
He's right in his corner as well. It looks like he's giving up on this guillotine now, maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
readjusting a little bit. If you're Bryan, you want to step back to your feet because you've got Powell's number on the feet.
Right in his corner as well.
And he's targeting that eye. He's targeting the eye of Powell.
Could be a worse corner to be in. He's got other flyweight prospect Conor Hignett in the corner there.
Oh, that gym now for flyweights. Wow.
The eye of Jamie Powell swollen now. Swollen shut by the looks of it. A bit of bruising.
Absolutely beautiful display by Bryan Creighton so far. Jamie Powell, he's not out of it. He's having success, but I think that that combo at the end of round 1 really shook him.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one, Danny. The power of Creighton's definitely on show, but you know, like you said, Powell timed the takedown, but it didn't really go to his advantage.
Nope.
He's got a big bad wolf on top of him.
He does. He does.
Ready to throw some big shots.
Elbows, Bryan, elbows.
If you're Creighton here, do you keep him up against the cage or do you step back and
This
get it back to the feet?
I mean, minus the submission attempts, the way that it's gone so far, you know, Creighton's it's risk free. You know, he's getting off his shots and he's taking minimal damage. You know, the size of Powell and the way he throws shots, and he's technically good. And he's powerful. It only takes one punch to change a fight. Why would you risk that? You know, as much as you love the madness and the anarchy of the mutual violence out there, if you're Creighton, you know, he's a smart fighter as well. He's a smart fighter, and right now he's doing work on Powell's face, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the doctor took a closer look at the end of round 2 if we make it that far.
Especially at that eye as well. The cut man will be taking a close look at that. We're deep into the second round now as well.
And Creighton's just happy to play. He's happy to play half guard. You know, his striking stands out so much that I think he's to any onlooker, his wrestling credentials get overlooked.
Definitely.
He has got some. I mean, he's got a singlet, right? So you know. But I've seen him doing suplex drills. I've seen him wrestle. The guy, he's a legit all-rounder.
As is Jamie Powell.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not taking anything away from him. He's made it to Bellator. He's fought on Bellator.
Creighton's showing some improvement from his last few fights. He dropped a couple of losses in a row.
Yep.
Came back to win the golden ticket title on his last fight.
Yep.
And then now obviously he's pushed into a main event on a big show like Almighty.
Yep. But he's a very short flyweight.
Yeah.
And look at the guys he was fighting. He was up at bantamweight because he went through that run where, you know, a few failed weight cuts, taking a percentage of his purse, and you know, money in this sport's everything. You need it to fund your camps and all, and, you know, and family.
Everyone needs money.
He stepped up to bantamweight, and then he's got the right team behind him, and now he's back down at flying. He looks like he belongs here.
Yeah, both
right
guys,
now,
mate.
so far so good. Bryan looks like he belongs here. We know Jamie belongs here. Jamie's been doing it, you know.
The eye of, if you can see the eye now of
you can't
Jamie
see the
Powell,
eye. That's the
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
It's,
swollen shut.
It impairs your vision. He don't just impair it; he takes it away. That's,
yeah, but
you
if
know,
he
that's
makes it through this second round, what does the doctor say? What does Graham or Sheldon say?
Well, A, you deal with it the best you can.
Yeah.
B, you make sure there's, you know, like, you make sure there's nothing like immediately wrong with it. And C, you see how the fighter feels and how the fighter reacts. You know, a fighter's reaction can tell you a lot about the severity of it, but you've also got to bear in mind that fighters will fight. And
and Jamie Powell is a fighter. He's gonna fight on as much as he can.
And Bryan Creighton's just putting on them all in right now this second round,
and
he's taken minimal damage. He's put maximum output.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Powell's looking worse for wear so far.
Great second round, yeah, great second round from both these top flyweights. The eye of Powell is looking worse for wear tonight.
And you know that they're going to look at that closely.
Yeah,
Doctor's here, he's pointed to signal the eye. And hopefully we'll have a few more updates for you in a second.
Yeah, we've got Graham Thomas straight on the eye there. You know, for Bryan Creighton, does he come out all guns blazing for this third round? Or
I think at this moment in time, the way he feels and the way he wants to make an impact in the flyweight division, Bryan Creighton in his head can come out and do whatever Bryan Creighton wants to do.
Thing is, he's looked close to getting the knockout.
Yes.
So he's
looked close to getting the knockout. He's looked close to getting submission.
Yeah.
He got taken down and then reversed it. You know, so. You know, I was saying about Jamie Powell timing it and, you know, getting on that takedown, and he did. But then Bryan ends up on top, and we're just getting a once-over from the doctor.
Hopefully we'll get into this third and final round of this of the Almighty Fighting Championship 8 main event. Able to keep the eye open enough. Bryan Creighton again. Oh, doesn't look like the doctor's going to let this carry on. Jamie Powell's arguing with the doctor,
referee, and the referee weighs it off. Bryan Creighton successful at flyweight once again, and the flyweight division has just got very scary.
Yeah, and obviously Jamie Powell not happy with that decision, but again,
fighters want to fight.
Yeah.
Fighters always want to fight.
Fighter safety at the end of the day. Don't take anything away. Here we go. The big bad wolf has his man.
True to form, the big bad wolf is back. And you know, hats off to Jamie Powell. He is no slouch, and I honestly believe, you know, the eye, he'd have carried on.
Yeah.
He would have carried on.
Of course he would.
And there would have come a point in that fight where he would have started to have success. Would he have ended it? Who knows? Would Bryan have ended it? Who knows? But, you know, it is what it is. Fight safety is paramount. And looking at his eye now, the doctor made a good call.
Yeah, and as for Bryan Creighton, this is some top form now for Bryan Creighton. And now he's just come into a main event on Almighty Fighting Championship. He could put himself in stead for a title shot. And we'll see. We'll take you back into the cage for our official decision with Mr. Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your main event fighters tonight. Come on. At the end of round number 2, our doctors call a stoppage to this bout, declaring your winner in the red corner, Bryan, the Big Bad Wolf Creighton. And show your love for Jamie Powell.
Right, before I ask you any questions, I think you've got some people out there that want to hear the howl. Oh! The Big Bad Wolf! True to form, the Big Bad Wolf. He comes, he puts on a show. Flyweight, where you belong. You looked unstoppable tonight against a top opponent in Jamie Powell. Take it away, floor's yours.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Sean Martin, Andy Devant, four corners, and Lady Smiths and Hammer. But first of all, let's give it to Jamie Powell as well. So I want to say thank you to welcome me back to the flyweight division where I belong. And if there's any flyweights out there, you should all get in it.
I'm retired now. But seriously, a hell of a show, and it could not have gone any better. You've got a following. You've got the best gimmick in flyweight MMA in the UK, definitely. What's next for you?
Step at a time again. I know Nathan Grayson has just got the flyweight world title, so he knows I've beaten him before, and I'll take him again. Other than that, anyone else who wants to get in, I'll have it.
Well, you heard it here first on Almighty Fighting Championships. The Big Bad Wolf's looking at Nathan Grayson. Enjoy your moments, sir. Well done.